The illegal strike continues for hundreds of corrections officers across New York State. This is video from the picket lines near Collins Correctional Facility today as officers, their families, and former guards fight for safety improvements and better working conditions on the inside. But today was a little bit different. For the first time since these strike efforts began 4 days ago, the state has put forward a list of temporary concessions in an attempt to get these officers back on the job. Those concessions include canceling a proposal to cut prison staffing. And it says that any employee who reports to their facility by 11:59 tonight will not be disciplined for the strike. The state also says it would pause elements of the HALT Act that cannot be safely carried out. That act currently limits the use of solitary confinement, and repealing it has been a major sticking point for the officers on strike. 7 News reporter Derek Hyde covering this strike once again for us today. This time he joins us live from Attica, where folks remain on the picket line tonight. Derek.
That's right, Jeff. It is day 4 of this illegal prison strike, and it may be cold, it may be snowy, but the crowd here at Attica is lively as ever.
Back the blue! Back the blue! Back the blue! Back the blue!
Now I got a chance to speak to several of these people today, and here are their voices about what's going on.
Job's not worth my life.
Jenna Coton served as a New York State correction officer for 5 years.
And I was attacked in 2022 while working at Attica Correctional Facility, and I have not been back since.
Now she's back with her former co-workers, standing on the picket lines outside of Attica.
Collectively, we said enough is enough, and I want to stress that this was not done lightly. We cannot go back in there right now. And this is not about the money. This is about safety.
This is the 4th day dozens of corrections officers from prisons across the state have refused to go to work. I'm told they're demanding safety and staffing improvements, mainly a repeal of the HALT Act, which limits solitary confinement in prisons.
Due to the HALT bill, there's no repercussions for the inmates' actions anymore.
Yesterday, Governor Hochul activated the National Guard to help run the prisons. Their vehicles can be seen in the parking lot outside of Attica Correctional. Hochul also sending a strong message to those on strike.
Do what's right. Do your jobs.
So what do the people here make of that?
We're not going to listen to her. We're not going to listen to her until some of our demands are met.
While I was standing outside of Attica, a memo from Department Commissioner Daniel Martusello to all prison superintendents was handed out. It said if the officers return to work, the state will not discipline people returning to the job by the end of the day Thursday, promised a temporary suspension of the HALT Act, no staff reductions, and an increase in the overtime pay rate. Still, I'm told this is not good enough.
There's no temporary. That HALT Act has to be repealed.
This change isn't for next week. This change isn't for next month. It is for 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Change happens.
With the officers continuing to strike, I asked labor lawyer Candace Morrison what could happen if they continue to break Taylor law and now a judge ordering them to stop.
They could be facing penalties, real penalties. They could be found in contempt of that court order and face fines or even imprisonment themselves for continuing to strike.
How long do you think you'll be out here for?
As long as it takes.